Freshman year of college.
Ooh.
I was dating this girl. Not necessarily dating with her. We were kind of figuring each other out.
What's the difference? Wait, what's the difference, bruh? Figuring each other out or dating? What? Like,
that's true.
Physically figuring each other out? Or just...
What's happening? No cap. We get AO, about to get a plate. Oh, pull up to the table. Let's go.
Yo, what's going on, fam? It's your boy, Anthony Neal. Welcome back to the table. This is the ATL edition, and I'm real pumped today because I have some friends. Not a friend, not two friends, but I have three friends joining me today to really have a real conversation. One of the things that I'm really diving into as my brand is continuing to expand, right? I want to make sure that I'm helping singles like myself steward their single season correctly. So we're going to be talking about areas around your finances. But really, one of the things I've struggled with in the past, just to keep it real, since this is the table, it's a different kind of table, but it is the table. One of the things that I struggle with, and I'm respectfully saying this, still struggling because I'm not perfect. I'm learning, I am evolving, and I am growing, and I am maturing, is how do you have the hard conversations while you're dating? While you're in a relationship, not while you're married. I think that's easier than dating, because in dating, you might be scared to answer the question. You might be scared to ask the question because you don't know if that person will bounce on you, if they will leave you, or if they'll start judging you, if they'll start looking down on you. And so I invited some friends, some friends from different age brackets, to just come and sit down and be real. This is not going to be a factual thing as far as in what's right and what's wrong, because I think everyone has the right to think the way they want to think. But as we're going through this conversation, as we're talking to my friends, I want you all to text the word relationships to 615-930-3431. Again, text relationships to 615-930-3431, or click the link in the show description, because my team and I actually created a PDF called The Guide to Asking the Hard Questions While Dating. Listen, this is not just one page. We actually sat down and just created a 20-page document that's 100% free, specifically for you, to really help you figure out, okay, how do you have the hard conversations? And really, this is for our queens. I'm gonna be real with you, because it wasn't about a couple of weeks ago, I asked over 1,000 men, hey, if you can give our queens, our ladies, one relationship advice, what would you say? Man, we had thousands of brothers respond, and these responses were actually pretty shocking to me. I related with some of them. I didn't relate with some of them. I said, you know what? How about we honestly sit down, put this into a PDF so you'll see the questions, that the advice that the guys ask. And ladies, I want to help you get into our heads. So I sat down and went through all these all these advice that they put out. And I said, you know what, ladies, here are some questions that you can ask while you're dating to really get inside of our minds. So it's a cheat code. And I'm telling you right now, not only do we give you questions to ask, but here's a table of contents. We're going to give you how to fight fair, how to disagree fair, and how to identify real red flags. And then 20 questions, 20 points to really ask, to really help you get into the conversation. You want to learn how to talk about money? I give you the questions to ask while you're dating to talk about money. You want to ask what's his perspective on sex before marriage? I give you the questions to ask. You want to ask how do you feel about President Trump? I give you the questions to ask. I give you, just some good practical questions that will not offend a man, but it's a great conversation starter to when you're out at dinner, where maybe when you're out at Topgolf, maybe you're driving in the car, maybe you're sitting at the house and y'all watching a movie and it goes on break, and I just want to ask them a quick question. It's 100% free, so text relationships to 615-930-3431. But yo, I have some friends with me today at the table. And you all have seen probably 2 out of 3 of them. One of them, he's new to the crew. I like him, but, y'all definitely have seen these 2 before, especially if you follow me. And you're going to see a lot more of him. I say, let's just have a conversation. So real quick, How about y'all introduce yourselves, name, let's give your age, okay? This is my table, we keep it real, okay? Don't be ashamed of your age, and maybe like a little brief 30-second description of like what you do.
Okay, cool.
Ladies first.
Hey y'all, my name is Raquel. I'm 33 years old. I'm known as the Bougie Banker, and I teach financial literacy to women all over the world.
Cause she's bougie. Bougie just came out with a book.
I did, yes.
That is amazing. And so I'll make sure to drop that her book in the show description because it will bless you.
Thank you.
What's up?
Hi, I'm Rebecca. I own Cornerize Digital, which is a social media marketing agency. And Anthony O'Neill is one of my clients.
Yeah, keep the camera on me. I was her first client as her own business, but she has worked.
Yeah.
She has worked with some major names. I'm not gonna name drop, but she has. I'm just honored because she's. Ooh, Jesus, she got a good resume. Next.
What's going on, guys? My name is Austin Reed. I'm 21 years old. I'm a college student, but I'm also traveling all 107 HBCUs across the country. I also work for Cornerize Digital as her digital assistant, so I'm excited to be here today.
Yo, young people here making moves. You are also Mr.
The eighth Mr. Oakwood University.
Yes, sir.
He is Mr. Oakwood.
Mr. Oakwood University.
Put some respect
My
on
crown
that.
is in the car, Anthony.
I told him to leave it in the car. Ain't no crowns right here but my crown. You know what I'm saying? It's my show. I run this thing. So let me start off by asking this question. Do y'all think dating, being in a relationship, because I want to respect some of y'all are actually, dating officially, in a relationship officially, or whatever you may want to call it. Is it hard? In these days and times, is dating hard?
Yes.
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 My brother said yes. Why are you looking like that? It's not hard?
I don't think so.
Why not?
I think, I'm freshly out of a relationship, a pretty long-term one.
Yeah.
And so, what I'm doing now is just I'm getting to know people.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm not necessarily I'm just getting to know people, seeing what's out there.
She was about to say, I ain't trying to settle down yet. I just want to get to know you. I just want to date. I want to get all the data before I make my final decision.
That part. But I was in, my relationship was 5 years. So now it's 27 versus -5, 22. Yeah, my priorities are different.
Yeah.
Everything's different. So I am, when I am dating, I am, asking certain questions. So that.
So since you
it's
said
gonna help.
that, you say you're dating. Okay, I got to ask you the question. Welcome to the show. But you already know how I roll, so yeah. Do you believe in dating multiple people? Dating is good or bad?
Dating multiple people.
At the same time.
I think it's good to get out there and see what's out there and get to know people. But then if a certain don't do that thing.
Okay, yeah. There you go.
If you start or when you start to form a connection with somebody and that gets more serious, then you can have that talk. Hey, is this exclusive? Do you want it to be or not? And you get to see where they're at.
Yeah.
Because dating multiple people and sleeping with multiple people are two different things.
Very
And I think sometimes when we think about dating, we're like, oh, well, they must be sleeping with one another. You're getting to know that person. That's that's what you're doing. Seeing if this person is a good match
And
for
how,
you.
how much you want to share with them of your life. And I think for me, dating, if someone's like, hey, you want to go on a date? I'm like, okay, as you go. And then that's dating.
It could be anybody?
No.
Oh, I'm about to say, you want to go on a date? Okay, gotta go. Dang, he don't have to look good. He don't have to smell good. Lord Jesus. What about you?
I was gonna say, I think that, being a man, it's a little difficult, especially, you guys are a little older than me. You guys have more experience in dating. I think for me, I'm trying to build myself up. I'm trying to build, my wealth. I'm trying to build, my name. And, me being a college student.
Yes, sir.
Get that back. Get that back. That's what I'm talking about.
Me being a college student, and again, me traveling all these HBCUs, me doing social media management, all these things, I'm trying to set myself up for my future wife.
Yeah.
And so I'm saying it's hard right now because, there are those, not necessarily temptations, but there are those women out there that I do want to, I'm interested in, I do want to talk to. But to me, I kind of find that as a distraction just right now, just because I'm trying to build myself up and trying to make a name for myself so that I can carry on that legacy and have a wife come to me and we can build that legacy together.
So you're saying right now dating multiple is probably not in your...
For me, no.
So you only gonna date one, or you just not dating at all?
I'm just not dating at all. I'm just kind of focusing more on myself.
The foundation.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
I said it was difficult.
Difficult.
Yes.
He said it's difficult too, though.
Yeah.
I think dating is difficult too.
Yeah.
In my age bracket. I'm older than all of y'all. And, what you say?
Grandpa.
Oh, wow. See, they're lucky that they're not in my singles panel coming up here next year. Because I would ask Raquel and, so many hard questions. But I'm not gonna put them out there like that. So y'all, stay tuned, because if y'all like today's show, oh, trust me, what we have coming up for the singles panel next year, it's not like this. No, it's gonna be fire. But
wait a minute.
This is a Costco snack.
Yeah. It's a fun size.
it's a fun size.
Emphasis on the fun.
Because we're shooting it like a reality reality show.
That's gonna be lit.
Yeah,
it's gonna be nice.
We rented a huge mansion.
Yeah.
And we're just bringing in single people to come and talk.
That's gonna be cool.
So about when was it? About a few months ago. Yeah, a few weeks ago. I just posted a question. And I said to the brothers, because oftentimes I have a huge tribe of ladies. I want to say about 65% of my tribe are ladies, right? Mm-hmm. And the majority of them are Black, and I love that. I love my sisters, and I love my white sisters too. So, but I said, you know what? I'm always talking to the ladies, right? I'm never really talking to my brothers. And I said, brothers, we often get relationship advice from our queens, but we never really respect the advice from the men.
Right.
Because y'all need help too. Y'all got issues, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And us men, we can help y'all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Be better, suitable mates for your, right, because right now today's show's about y'all. You know what I'm saying? Raquel want to say so much. She's like, But I asked this question, man. I was really shocked about some of their responses. Like, their responses was actually rich,
thoughtful.
You can't get upset. And one of the things that I've learned that, men and women, we do think and process things differently. And it's not a bad thing, nor is it a good thing. It's a thing that two people need to work together. And on my journey in this new season that I'm walking in, I want to help singles steward their single season correctly. And a part of that is stewarding our network, stewarding our relationships. One of the things that the guys that I saw come back very, very good was, and this is something that I ask on both sides, right? That I get asked on both sides. When is it the right time to bring up the conversation about money when you're dating? Because some guys feel offended when it's date one. Some ladies are like, I'm not waiting until I get married because financial security for me is very, very important. So I'm curious for y'all's philosophies in the season and the stage that you're in right now. When is it the right time to bring up and to have the conversation about money? Is that date one? Is that before we go on a date? Is that, maybe when we get engaged and we sit down with our pastors for premarital?
That's way too late. That's way too late.
I was gonna say, I think as a guy, when I take these ladies out on dates, I want to make sure that I present my best self forward. And in terms of my best self, my authentic self as well. So I'm not going to rent a car and take her to the most expensive restaurant if I can't afford that. So I think that being transparent, from the start is a great segue into that healthy conversation and those conversations about finances. Because let's say I do take that girl out for 3 or 4 days. So I'm driving around in a rented Tesla, take her out to a steakhouse. And then, a couple months later, we're dating and she's like, uh-oh, why are you driving this? Why are you taking me to McDonald's? Why are you doing this? So I think that being transparent and upfront from the jump will avoid kind of that uncomfortable conversation and kind of open it up to be able to be honest and be able to have the conversation.
Yeah.
So, ladies, when do y'all want to bring it up? Or do y'all even care about their financial situation?
The two.
So, like... Wait. You about to make your hair stand up.
No, definitely before you're engaged. Like, you cannot wait that long. At that point, you're saying this person is suited to be my forever spouse. You don't know if someone's suited to be a forever spouse if you haven't had all of the conversations. You need to, make sure that y'all are a good fit psychologically. You need to make sure you're a good fit emotionally for one another, spiritually for one another, and financially for one another. If, like he said, if you're taking someone out and renting a Tesla, you're setting up an incorrect expectation because she's gonna go like, girl, he took me to the test, girl, the 5-star girl. And then now she has this level of expectation that's set up that's not real. So if you're being your authentic self, you can weed out the people who are not right for you from the beginning.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So I think those conversations definitely need to be had. I would say after the dating, after like you've started like really saying, okay, this is the one person that I'm going to devote my time to. I'm going to date this one person.
Yeah.
I think somewhere around that space, you should start introducing those conversations. And it doesn't have to be like, so what's your credit score?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It could be like you presenting it as a question. Like sometimes I ask questions knowing the answer already. I just kind of want to see where your thought processes are, right? So I would be like, oh,
So you playing mind games.
Right.
I don't.
Right. yes.
Sorry. What I'm saying is, it's I don't want to say it's my, maybe, okay, I'm not going to be there. But this is what I'll say is you have to figure out who you are with. And if you're not asking the questions, some people like to be very direct, but I like to study people. So if I know I would handle a certain financial situation a type of way, I may say like, hey, I've got this going on with X, Y, and Z in my finances. What do you think I should do? I want you to feel like you're leading me, but I'm really just picking your brain to see if your thought processes around money are aligned with my thought processes around money.
Okay. Yeah. So that's still playing mind games, but I guess.
Okay, yeah, all right. You looked real theoretical, like, yeah, okay, it's cool.
What do you think about?
I think similar, once you decide, like, okay, this person, I'm going to start seeing them, like, exclusively, or I can see a future with them because I like these other qualities that they have, then start bringing it up. But in a similar way, like a softer way, like not what's your credit score, like how much debt do you have, all that kind of stuff. But, like, finances is really important to me, and I've been really intentional with how I manage mine and, like, my businesses and, like investments and all that stuff. So I will ask, like, oh, like, do you have a Roth IRA? Or I just maxed mine out today. Like, yay. Like, what do you think about that?
Yeah.
It's just a softer way. Is it mind games?
I think
You don't scare- it's a
this is
sensitive
why
topic.
this is exactly why I did this little mini, little mini ebook, because as a man, that could come off as a mind game if you already know the answer and you're not really genuinely trying to learn about me. Like one of the things that God says, money shouldn't be a taboo topic. And inside of PDF, I say, you know what? Here's my philosophy when it comes to this right here, right? If we could talk about sex, we could talk about money.
Right.
We talk about sex before we even in a committed relationship.
Right.
So my philosophy is when it comes to a relationship, again, I'm not a relationship expert, but when it comes to dating, before I even say, Rebecca, I think we should be in a committed relationship, we're going to have a conversation about money. So I don't really talk about it in the beginning. I don't suggest talking about it within the beginning part because it goes back to what you said. Enjoy.
Right.
Enjoy life, right? But before you all sit down and say, you know what, I think this is where I want to settle down with you. I see you as my prize. I think the conversation needs to have about it. Now, here's the question. This is why y'all need to get this text word relationships. 2615-930-3431. Because if you take Raquel's advice, you may run that guy away. Here is one question you can ask that is simple, that both of you all can have a real good conversation. It turns into such a very easy conversation. And watch this, ladies. You would honestly give him room to talk. He'll tell you everything you want to hear. And the question is simple. What do you want your financial life to look like in the future?
That's good.
You didn't say, well, hey, I'm going through this situation. What do you think I should do? Because the last thing what you're doing for a man there is we are automatically triggered to fix something. So now I want to go in there and tell you about yourself, tell you what you should have done, tell you this. And it's like now you could be offended because I don't know everything. I don't know what you've gone through. I don't know all the stories behind it. So this thing is how do we just have a conversation? Like, how do we both just have a conversation? So when a man answered that question, what's going to happen? What's your thoughts? Like, what do you want to do in the future with your finances? And then boom, now y'all having a conversation and it turns into such a very easy situation.
That's good.
Yeah.
Am I right?
I would say that's a good response.
But no. That's not what I asked you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, sir.
Say it again.
Yes, Anthony.
Thank you. You know, Raquel has become my sister, my little mentee. Well, she's like 5 years younger than me. 4? I'm 37.
Oh, yeah, I'm 33.
Yeah, so you know, she gets the real rawness of me. She's the only one that can call me at 10 o'clock, and I'll be like, "What the heck are you doing?" All right, so here's another one. All right, so we agree that a conversation about money needs to happen before, engagement, before marriage. Okay,
yeah.
cool. All right. Here's another one. Ooh.
I don't even want to be a part of this. I didn't want to be a part of it. I feel like we're in a live clubhouse. That's what this feels like, a live clubhouse. And every time my phone goes off, it's Anthony in some group talking about relationships. And I'm like,
Ladies. Ooh, this is going to be hard. Okay?
Bring it.
Ladies.
Bring it.
Number 2 relationship advice for men. 2 ladies. Own up when you're wrong.
oh yeah, I can do that.
I agree.
Yeah, I could do that.
Okay.
That was a growth point, though.
Why is that so hard to grow into that though? Because like one of the guys said, apologize. It's something so small, but it goes so long when it comes to men.
Yeah.
Like, why is that so hard for ladies to admit they are wrong? Or is it hard in y'all's opinion? Because I mean, again, this is all 1,000.
Yeah.
This was the most number 3 request from men. Ladies, own up when you're wrong.
So I'll say this. I've been on both sides, right? Like, I've been the person who was so apologetic that I was just apologizing for no reason. Like, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. But then I became this super strong, independent woman who was so opinionated that it didn't matter if I was wrong because I was so focused on you understanding why I was right.
Yeah.
So it took finding balance in that. So I'll say I understand why that's been posed because I've definitely been on both sides. But I'm at a point right now, like if you can prove to me that I'm wrong or it's shown that I'm wrong.
Why does he have to prove to you that you're wrong though?
Well, because, I mean, if you're wrong, you have to be shown that you're wrong. It's not about like belittling the person to be like, this is why you're wrong. But just if I'm wrong, show me I'm wrong. And if that's the case, then okay, I'm apologizing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You ever dated a lady, she did you wrong and she didn't apologize?
Yeah.
How did it make you feel as a man?
As a man, honestly, it kind of took me back a little bit. Again, I'm only 21. I started being allowed to date when I was 16, so I don't have, that much experience. But, but I think, this is a side note. But my parents were saying I wasn't allowed to date until I was 16 because my mom said I'm not driving you to your dates. I'm not paying for them. So you need to have a car, you need to have a job. So that's what.
I mean, I can respect mama for that.
Yeah.
You grew up in a single mother home?
No, I did not. I did not. Well, both my parents said it, but my mom's kind of the voice. My dad's just the agreeer.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So what happened?
With the girl?
Yeah.
You look so hurt.
Down to
Freshman year of college.
Ooh.
I was dating this girl. Not necessarily dating with her. We were kind of figuring each other out.
What's the difference? But what's the difference, bro? Figuring each other out or dating? Well, like
That's true.
physically figuring each other out, or just? I know your mama gonna be watching this.
Hey, she knows. Mama Adrian knows. You know what's up, Mom. You know what's up.
I'm just saying, like, what's the difference in figuring each other out or dating?
Figuring if you wanted to, because
Like getting to know each other.
Bro, drink some water. Okay. Is this the talking stage before a dating stage?
Yes, basically.
Okay.
Basically.
All right.
So this was because there was two ladies involved. I gotta drink to that, guys. I gotta drink to that because they're gonna be watching this. They're gonna be watching this.
That is not Jameson.
It's water, Aquafina. Not sponsored. But anyway, so
Oh, what are we doing? What are we doing?
This is so good. Go ahead.
so there were two ladies at the time.
My eyes are watching.
And so, you know, I was figuring out both of them, you know, seeing who I wanted to pursue more. And so one of the ladies, she lied on me and said I did something I didn't do. And that was very demasculating, number one, because again, you know, it's my freshman year of college, trying to establish myself, trying to do this, trying to do that. And, you know, as a black man, you know, if a lady says you do something that you didn't do,
Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's a rough kind of thing. So that was, you know, when you said that was kind of the immediate kind of thing that brought me back to that. And so, you know, it took her. She just we haven't spoken for years. But literally the summer before my senior year, which is this past summer, she just randomly like texted me and said, hey, you know, I'm really sorry that it happened. Like I genuinely apologize. You know, I was hurt and I didn't mean to portray that hurt on you. And so, you know, I made it seem like you were the bad guy when in reality I was. So for years I kind of carried on that hurt and, you know, yeah, so
that's a big thing, though.
That's a big thing.
That's a big thing.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm sorry you went through that.
I'm so sorry you went through that. I didn't know you was gonna go that deep.
Yeah.
Hey, we keep it real.
Real
We keep it
relatable.
real.
At the table.
Keep it real.
Pretty much.
Keep it real.
Rebecca, I know you have a hard time apologizing for when you're wrong.
Not true. Lies.
I'm just saying. No, have you ever had a hard time apologizing for when you're wrong?
Yeah, I have.
Why was it so hard as a woman?
As a woman, I mean, I feel like people in general have a hard time apologizing.
Admitting when you're wrong?
Yeah. I've experienced both men and women, like old and young, for that. But the big thing for me is I don't feel like I'm wrong a lot.
Right. I feel you. I don't think a lot of people think they're wrong.
Yeah, and so when it does happen, like say I may say something to someone, like it offends them or hurts their feelings, and they tell me, I'm like, oh! Like I kind of want to be like, well, you're being too sensitive or whatever. You don't want to cover it up because like it's being wrong is also being vulnerable.
Yeah.
And so like vulnerability is hard for a lot of people. And so like, but now I don't want to carry around like that guilt from hurting anyone. And also I've been in another position too where I've always been like, I'm sorry when I don't need to.
Right.
And sometimes when someone does me wrong, not getting that apology hurts me. And so now like looking for, even though I am like having fun right now with dating, but ultimately I want a husband and I want to have like a really real relationship. And vulnerability is huge for that. So I think being like radically honest, like 100% myself. And then also if someone hurts me or if I hurt them, like making it a safe space for that apology.
Yeah.
I agree with you. All jokes aside, I think everyone has a problem with admitting when they're wrong. And not really admitting, well, not a problem, but I think it is challenging.
Yeah.
Because it takes an individual to be vulnerable. It takes an individual to set pride aside. And also, check this out. The other person who they're about to say, I'm sorry, I was wrong to, have to be mature to say, I know. Or have to be mature to not say, I know.
Right.
To not throw it into their face.
Or keep bringing it up.
Exactly. There has to be a safe space. So one of the questions I put inside the book, go ahead, what you about to say?
Well, I just wanted to add to that because I think sometimes we get caught up in who's right and who's wrong, but you're not looking at the perceptions of their reality of the situation.
Absolutely.
Which doesn't necessarily make this person right or this person wrong. It could just be a miscommunication on how everyone perceived the situation. Right. So like I may be looking at you and being like, how could you do this to me? How could you do this to me? You're wrong, you're wrong.
Yeah.
But on their end, they're not understanding or figuring, like it's just not being received that they even did anything wrong. It's not processing.
Right.
Because their perception of the situation is totally different. So I think sometimes we get so caught up in looking for an apology that you can't even move past the situation, opposed to saying, you know what, this is what has happened. This is the reality of the situation. What is my response to how it has affected me, instead of trying to get a response out of the other person who may not even be able to realize that they're in the wrong to begin with.
Yeah, but that's so good. That's so good. One of the questions that I say is a conversation starter, again, because I think while we are dating, how do we approach these hard conversations? I don't want to date someone who refuses to admit when they're wrong, because that just means when we get in a relationship, you won't admit when you're wrong. And so for me, yeah, go ahead.
And your relationship will only go so deep.
Yes.
Like, the less open you're able to be, that's where the relationship stops. I think too, like when it comes to admitting that you're wrong, and being open to hearing the other person out, it's you're interested in the health of the relationship as a whole.
Yes.
Because it's like, it's not just, oh, me against you, like us fighting who's gonna win. But it's like, okay, for the sake of the relationship, like, let's solve this. Let's figure it out, because I don't want to hurt your feelings again.
Right. And so while you're dating, here's one good question you can ask. And it's simply, hey, in your opinion, what's worse, to say I'm sorry and not mean it, or not say it at all? And I think that just creates a conversation at the dinner table or while we're driving home to really understand both sides of their thoughts, both sides of their opinions, both sides of, okay, is he or is she a forgiver? Do they know how to set their pride aside? And that's a hard question to ask, because you're going to have disagreements inside of a relationship. And two, you're going to make mistakes inside of the relationship. And I remember the last young lady I dated, I had to admit that I was wrong. When we decided to, go separate ways, I had to admit, okay, it's easy to blame the other person, but I think a real man and a real woman, or let me take that back, a mature man and woman will apologize and say, yo, I'm sorry. And not that you're a sorry individual, but you apologize for the action or for the words that you've said and committed. And I think it just creates a good conversation to have.
Yeah.
And I think that is something that I'm having to remind myself as a man, like, yo, boy, set your pride aside. Not just with, Rebecca, I blamed something on you a couple weeks ago. And I said, Rebecca, I'm so sorry. That was actually me, my fault. And I had to set my pride aside. Even though I'm cutting her a check every month, I'm like, yo, but still, you want her to know that, hey, she could trust you and you're a man of character and integrity. She didn't have to ask me. I was like, yo, Rebecca, I'm so sorry. That is totally my fault. I screwed up. Boom. Like, it just creates a good, healthy relationship.
Right. Yeah, just in general, because I've had clients that make huge mistakes and don't.
Right.
They're just like, oh, okay, it's a learning experience. And they like,
right.
leave,
And you don't want that in a relationship. So again, that's a good question to have. And I have so many other questions to how to really figure out, okay, if he messes up, when he messes up, is he apologetic? Is she apologetic? Because ladies, while this is for you, y'all mess up too. Okay. All right.
Before you get to the next point, I was just gonna say that I think that that's a very important conversation that needs to be had, especially, as men. Being vulnerable and being emotional is not necessarily our forte. And so I feel as though kind of being open, it will, will help the relationship out. Will definitely help it out.
Absolutely.
I think if you choose not to apologize when you're wrong, or if you lie about it and just say, oh, I'm sorry. The person may be like, oh, they really mean it. And you could care less, right? You are taking away essentially their choice to choose, like, is this healthy for me? Because you're not being honest in your motive. Yeah. Your motive is selfish at that point.
Yep.
You don't mean that you want them to stay. But if you don't apologize at all, well, then they can start to recognize, okay, well, this relationship may not be serving me. This isn't something I want to continue to work on.
You really cheat yourself when you're not vulnerable.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. This is good. I hope y'all are actually taking notes, and I hope you're getting this document. I mean, It's amazing. Here's the number one thing that was on the guys' list. And I relate with it 100%. Y'all ladies are not gonna like this. I'm gonna be honest with you. But I really don't care. Because I came here to help you get into our minds. I'm not even looking over there. You understand what I'm saying? Because I'm helping y'all ladies get into our minds, okay?
It's in Kappa Clock.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So listen. Gabe in my tribe said, don't drop hints. That movie looks interesting. It's just an observation. I like to see that movie. Still may have nothing to do with me. Let's go see the movie is an invitation or a clear definition of what you expect. So the number one thing from men, and man, I really dive into this one on this PDF, is we can't read your mind. Communicate and be clear with how you feel. Do y'all ladies think y'all struggle with communicating exactly how you feel, what you want, what you expect?
I think that's a whole learning process because half the time we probably don't even know. You know, you're like she said, you're learning yourself right now. So you're trying to figure out what it is that you actually want, how you truly feel about certain situations. Because I feel like, especially when you're younger, like in your 20s, it's a lot of let me mold me to fit this person that I'm with and not really understanding who you are and what fits you.
Right.
So I think it makes it hard to communicate what you want. You know what I mean? So when you're saying it like, oh, that would be nice, it's just kind of throwing it out there like, oh, that would be nice. I don't know if this fits what you want to do, but I thought this would be pretty cool. So if it's something you want to do, maybe I'll ask. So I feel like that's how that happens. And then as you get older, you know, you ask a woman 35, 40, she can be like, look, this is what I want to do. Are you taking me? Are we going? Can we go here? You know, they're very clear and direct because they know what they want to do, or this is what I'm going to do. Would you like to come?
Yeah.
But when you're in your kind of 20s, early 30s, it's a lot of still learning yourself.
I mean, I've dated people in their 35s, and I would respectfully disagree. I mean, I asked a young lady, like, where you want to go to eat? I don't know, you pick.
Oh, no.
And then if you take her to a spot she doesn't like, then she goes back and she calls the girls and says, this boy, can you believe where he took me? But wait, I asked you up front, where do you want to go? She was like, well, no, I want you to put the thoughts and I want you to put the thought and pay the bill and do everything about it. I just want to show up with my red bottoms on, look cute, and just do the thing.
To not like the food? I can't get with that.
Maybe she was testing you.
I can't get with that.
So y'all have never told a man, like, yo, you pick. Like, you've never wanted the man to pick the restaurant.
Yeah, I have.
So why?
Well, because I don't know what I want.
I just said that.
That's in food. Okay, so I agree with what you're saying, where like I've noticed in myself, just like over the last like 10 years of being like a better communicator in that area and saying what I want. And I think sometimes like, I don't know, I think women are a little bit conditioned to be a little bit softer sometimes. And for me, I feel like I've had to unlearn that and be more direct with what I want, especially in relationships. Something as small as what I want to listen to, like what I want to listen to, what music or what movie I want to go see, where I want to go eat, to more like to bigger things, like what like denomination I want my kids to be, or like where I want to live and what my vision for the future is and stuff. But when it comes to like smaller stuff like going out to eat or music, and it's like it doesn't matter that much to me, then I'm like, okay, you pick. And I'll find something on the menu, usually.
So what if a guy says, all right, I'm going to take you out on a date. And he says, where do you want to go? And you're like, well, I don't care. You choose. And then he takes you to a picnic, or he takes you to Starbucks, or he takes you, I don't know, somewhere that is like in the back of your head. You're like, this is not a date.
Ooh, but see, that gets into that expectation versus appreciation thing. That's where that gets, because it's like where your expectations set up. If a man is kind enough to say, I want to do something for you, I want to serve you in some capacity, if your expectations are set up to, we about to take to a 5-star restaurant with all these things, Then he takes you to a picnic, which is probably set up in a very nice way, heartfelt, took time.
Right.
You can't even appreciate it because in your mind, your expectation is set up differently.
Yeah.
So it's being clear about just saying like, okay, if I'm with this person and they're showing their care for me, they're spending their time with me, I just need to be in a space of appreciating the time and the space. But it also goes to say, be clear about what you want so that when it happens, you're like, okay, I appreciate this. But if you're just sitting in a space where you're expecting all these things, there's zero communication, and then it shows up and you're like, what is this?
Right.
That's on you. That has nothing to do with him because he took his time.
But let's live there right there, because as men, I think there is a level of expectation from ladies. I do know for a fact, y'all know me, I'm not gonna spend over $50, $75 on the first date when I take a young lady out. But I think when people meet Anthony O'Neal, it's like, well, I know he got money, so he's gonna take me to somewhere nice. There are ladies who feel as if what's the proper word to say this? Their looks or their value is more than a picnic. That she deserves to be. Don't take me to Chili's. Don't take me to what's the other one out there? Applebee's. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Don't take me there. Take me to Ruth Chris. Take me to the 5-star restaurant.
But who are you and what are you bringing to the table to be able to have that level of expectation? Like,
what if she makes 6 figures and she goes there on her own?
If that's it, then you should know, or I would assume you would know coming to the table with a woman that's already at that caliber, that her expectations naturally is set higher because she does it for herself.
But how do I know that if I just met you?
Well,
What's
there's conversations before, like you.
How do we have that
So
conversation?
you're just like, hey, you want to go out to eat? And how is that?
It's like, if I like, yo, hey, what's up, girl? How you doing? I met you on Clubhouse. Okay. And then boom, we meet, we talking on the phone. Well, we're not having a conversation about your income and your job and what you do within the first few conversations on the phone. So how do I know as a man your caliber is this 5-star when we're just talking about life?
Well, I guess that's just a filter. Like, that's your filter. You take girls on, this is their first date that you take them on. And so that's how you know how they respond. Like, honestly, like, once you get to know someone, like, if I were getting to know you, I'd say, like, okay, well, him, like, he may have money, but he doesn't have a lot of time.
Right.
So if you're spending your time on me, then it's
now
like,
you're talking.
then that means a lot.
That means a whole lot from a guy like that.
That's great.
Because you're right. Spending the money, I think, for a lot of guys is not the problem, especially if they are wealthy and successful. It's their time that they value more than they actually value their money. If I give you an hour of my day talking on the phone, to me, that's more valuable than giving you $1,000. Because it's my time. And I make money with my time.
Yeah.
What you think, man?
I'm going to say I definitely resonate with that. Again, me being a full-time college student, working, and on top of that, my HBCU tour, I don't have a lot of time. And so, the ladies that I'm interested in or trying to pursue,
are they older? Are you like dating around your age?
They can't even cook, can they?
No, I mean, no, they can cook.
They can cook?
They can cook. No, they can cook.
I mean, like cook?
They can cook.
Do you date outside your race?
I do not.
You don't? Wait, say that again? You don't
I
date?
do not date outside my race.
You only date black people?
I do. Black queens, black women. Yes, I do. But I also, the thing is, my parents always joke about how, I'm very particular in the women that I date. My parents have only probably seen me bring home, 2 ladies?
2 ladies?
Yeah. Because I'm very particular in who I bring into my family and who I want to, start my future with. And so, I grew up, again, in a 2-parent household. My mom was always cooking. I come from a Nigerian background as well as a Southern background. My grandmother's from Mobile, Alabama. My grandfather's from Nigeria. So cooking is in our culture, And so I pride myself in the fact that I can cook very well. And so I also, on my checklist, I don't need, women that can be a super chef. But when I'm out traveling, I need somebody to make sure the kids are fed, like situations like that. Yeah. And my family might joke about her because she may not be able to cook, and I don't want that. I don't want that. So yeah.
Okay, food is not love language.
Yo, so how do you deal with the communication side from ladies in your age bracket? I'm curious. So it seems like your age bracket, they definitely try to play the whole. It seems like in their young 20s, they want it. It's a turn on for the man to figure them out rather than just be blunt and straightforward.
Mm-hmm. I think that in this season of me again stewarding my singleness, a lot of ladies kind of see what I'm doing, and I feel as though they're attracted to me because of what I'm doing, which I don't like.
Ooh.
I want them to be attracted to my personality and what I have to offer, and so I think that a lot of the times, and this may be a red flag, I don't know, but a lot of the times I'm already on standby because I already know, I don't know if they're coming genuinely or if they're just coming just because, I've worked with this person, I'm working with this person, I'm doing this, I'm doing that.
Mm-hmm. That's real.
That's real.
Yeah.
I mean, I have that red flag, and I'm learning more and more and more I need to let that go.
Yeah.
Because I think in order for me to find the woman that God has for me, I have to give her the space to actually hurt my feelings.
Right.
Because if I don't give her that space, then she can't get close enough to even gain my heart. Mm-hmm. And so I think as a man, we have to learn to be more vulnerable. And I've had my feelings hurt, but I've learned how to, all right, cool, chop that one up, keep on moving. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I have that red flag, yo, why are you here? But I've learned, actually, my mom said this. She was like, yo, it's a good thing. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're who you are, know? And so you want her to be attracted to who you are and what you do. Because you don't want a woman who don't care about what you do, because then she won't value how you're bringing in the income and how you're helping people.
Right.
You just want a woman that can respect and love and honor what you do, but then also cherish the heart.
Right.
God pulled Eve from Adam's rib.
Right.
And the rib covers our heart.
Right.
So you need a woman that is like, yo, I see you.
Right.
But my assignment is to connect with that. Mm-hmm. And to get back connected to that so you and I can go do bigger and better things.
Right. And I 100% agree. I think that, and I think there's also pressure, I have 22 cousins on my mom's side. I'm the oldest of that.
Wow.
I have 7 siblings. I'm the oldest of them too. And so I think that, there's pressure in kind of dating or finding that person, especially since, my parents went to Oakwood. My great-grandparents went to Oakwood. My grandparents went to Oakwood. They all met their spouses there. So now they're looking at me. They're like, all right, what's going on? Austin, it's time to start getting. But for me, again, I'm trying to establish myself and trying to do that. So I think that kind of letting go of that pressure, and on top of that, trying to let go of that red flag mentality that I have, that ladies are only attracted to me because of what I have to offer or what I'm doing with my life. I think that can kind of help with that.
I mean, you're on my show.
Yeah.
So, I got a bunch of single ladies watching this, right?
Make sure you put my ad in the description.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to put their information in the show link below, ladies, you know what I'm saying? And Brother Man clean, you know what I'm saying? And he got some money, and he doing his thing.
Just a little bit.
He doing his thing. One of the things I said, a conversation starter, when you are, and I think this is a great conversation to have, like maybe walking your dogs, maybe out at the park and talking, was how do you feel comfortable sharing your thoughts with me? If not, what can I do to make you feel safe to share your thoughts with me? And I think it's a conversation starter. And one of the things, ladies, that I love is like with this is I really step back and ask myself these questions, and even ran it by other ladies, because I wanted to make sure that the questions that I'm telling you to ask us are the same questions that you can answer. Mm-hmm. Because I think sometimes while ladies, y'all have a hard time sharing your thoughts, so do men. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's like, how do we both create a safe space to where we can share our thoughts, and then also create a space and a place, learn this from Touré Roberts, where our significant other, the person who we're dating, can win and we support them winning. So it's like, if I'm dating someone, okay, one, how do I create a safe place to where you can come and be honest about your thoughts? I think one of the reasons why divorce is happening so much outside of like the money conversation is because are we really being authentic with our significant others? Are there things on the inside of us at our core that we're scared to share, so we never share it, and then we're disappointed, and so we go off and we sneak around things and we do things that we shouldn't be doing because we were scared to really share what was in our minds, what was at the core of us.
Right.
And it's like if you're dating someone, if you're in a committed relationship with someone, there should be a safe place where there's no judging, and to where I could just be honest and authentic. You could be honest and you could be authentic, and it's a safe place and there's no judging.
But to that point, I think that in the Black community, money is a very taboo subject. And so for me specifically, my parents have been very transparent in everything that they do. Yeah, I remember, years ago, Christmas, they're like, we just can't afford to get you what you want. And so, they're very transparent in what they say and what they do. And so I think that portrayed in my adult life where now, I'm comfortable talking about money. I'm comfortable, talking to them about X, Y, and Z just because my parents were transparent throughout, 21 years of my life.
Yeah.
Can I just say?
No, you can't.
All right, then I won't. It's fine. Let's just sit here.
Go ahead. What's up?
So, outside of the what can I do for you? What can you do for me? I think everyone, to some capacity, should have someone professional that they talk to because I can't help you help yourself in parts of your life, right? So even though I may want to talk to you about some things, you might not be the right person for me to talk to in that moment.
Right.
I think that especially culturally, we think of therapists and we're like, something wrong with you.
Right.
But we need to have someone in a professional space that we can kind of sort through things with, childhood traumas, experiences, all those things. So when we bring our authentic self to the table, it's not a broken authentic self.
So good.
So I think that, we should definitely be vulnerable with one another. However, don't look at your spouse as your cure because they can't heal you. You have to heal yourself.
Ooh-wee.
That's gonna go viral. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
Yo, if you just now tuned into the show, welcome back to the table. It's your boy, Anthony O'Neal, man. And today's show has been absolutely amazing, and we are about to wrap it up, but I did not want to go without reminding you, hey, listen, a part of why you're dating, why you're in a relationship, why you're doing all this kind of stuff, make sure you have a savings account, okay? I keep saying this on every show because I really want to drill this in. I need you to have a fully funded savings account, especially when you get out of debt. If you're still in debt and you're going through Ramsey's baby steps, baby step number 2, that means you should have at least $1,000 on your savings account. Whether you have $1,000, $10,000, $20,000. I want you to join me at Prize Pool. That's where I park my savings account. What I love about Prize Pool is a few things. Number one, they're FDIC insured, okay? Number two, they're gonna give you 0.30% interest on your money, and it's in a safe place. The average bank account is giving you 0.05. They're gonna give you 0.30. That is crazy. Why go to Bank of America when you have Prize Pool? And what I love about Prize Pool, number 3, is they give away prizes throughout the entire month. Every week, they're giving out $100, $500 prizes. But then once a month, they're giving away a grand prize of about $10 to $15 to even sometimes $20,000. All you gotta do is click the link in the show links, join me at Prize Pool. There's no startup fee, there's no minimum balance. That's where I park my emergency fund, and it's absolutely amazing. Then number 2, listen, get closer. The average person who looks like me, who looks like us on today's show, not the average person, it's about 43%, makes about $38,000 a year. The average person in America is gonna make right at about $45,000 to $50,000. They say that nearly only 11% of people will make $100,000 a year. Well, I have a secret for you. I can help you. You can help yourself within the next 9 months make $100,000 a year. Ask me how. Thank you so much. It's called Bethel Tech. The rising career field in America today is the tech field. And more people who look like us needs to get into that. And I've partnered with an amazing organization that is giving away a $1,500 scholarship just by you being a part of my tribe to go through a 9-month program that would teach you everything you need to know about tech, give you the certificate, and 80% of their graduates are getting jobs making $60,000 a year to $100,000 a year. We're watching this show and we're talking about singleness and we're talking about dating and we're talking about having a hard conversation. Wouldn't it be dope that if you spent the next 9 months, it could change the next 9 years of your life? Wouldn't it be dope to say, hey, Queen, I make $100,000 a year. Come on over here and I'll take good care of you. Wouldn't that be dope, Queen? If when you had a conversation, you go to your boo like, hey, boo, you know what I'm saying? I make about 100. I make about $150. You know, I went through this program that AO was talking about. It will be so dope. So I want you to click the link in the show description, Bethel Tech. Tell them that you came over there from your boy, Anthony O'Neal, here at the table. You're going to get a $1,500 scholarship. And check this out. It's only like, what, $10,000 to $15,000, depending on the program you get into. And by this time next year, you could be making 6 figures in a dope field. Let's get back to today's show and wrap this thing all the way up. You said something before going on break that I think we need to talk about.
What's that?
One of the things that guys are saying inside of this, I mean, and I'm telling you, man, this was probably one of the best things I've done in my career, hearing from my brothers in my tribe, right? Mm-hmm. This one was a shocking one. I never really paid attention to it from the ladies' side of things. Mm-hmm. I focused on it from my side. But the guys were like, yo, are you taking care of yourself? Mm-hmm. Not taking care of your looks. Are you taking care of yourself? Are you your inner you?
Yeah.
Because a lot of guys feel as if sometimes we're going through issues that have nothing to do with us. Mm-hmm. We didn't make you feel insecure. We didn't make you do this. We didn't make you do that. We don't make you feel like that. We're dealing with stuff in the past that you have not dealt with.
Yeah.
So I want to just live right there a little bit. How are you ladies, then brothers, how are you ladies taking care of yourself now? How are you all healing? What does that process look like?
Yeah, I'm doing a lot of, I just got back from Chicago. I took a 1-day trip.
Wow.
Which, by the way, never did that before.
Right.
But it was needed because I just needed to turn my phone off.
Okay.
I needed to be away from everything.
Yeah.
And, I'm a mom. I have 3 daughters.
3 beautiful daughters.
Thank you. So 14, 8, and 6. And I think we're always so busy in being busy that we get caught up in functioning in dysfunction. And I just needed to step away and just be like, Raquel, this is you. Like, be in present, be there with just you. No distractions, no busyness, no business, no nothing. And sometimes we don't even realize that we're exhausted by carrying other things. And for me, it came out in my health. I realized that I wasn't taking enough vitamins. I was really depleted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was exhausted and I was functioning on coffee, and I realized that when I was drinking 4 cups of coffee and I was still sleepy, something was wrong. Yeah. So, we talk a lot about dating on this thing, but you can't be in the position to date anyone, do anything for anybody, show up to any capacity for anyone if you're not showing up for yourself. Pour into your own cup. Be there for everyone else off of your overflow. And I know, being a mom, hearing that, sometimes it's like, but my babies come first. No, you come first. You can't do anything for your kids if you're dead. You can't do anything for your kids if you're in a hospital bed. You can't do anything literally for anyone if you're not taking care of yourself first. So if I can, just kind of give out a tip.
Do anything.
Okay, cool. So one of the things that I do...
I disagree. Go ahead.
One of the things that I do and I coach a lot of my ladies on is when you're really struggling on finding that time for yourself, one of the things you can do is just take an assessment of your time. You already mentioned, your time is your most valuable asset.
Yes.
Right? So just take an assessment, write down the time that you typically wake up to the time that you typically go to sleep, and then you're going to fill in like all your non-negotiables. So that's your work schedule, whatever's going on with your kids. If you have kids, whatever that you just can't get around. You're gonna put that in your schedule. And then throughout the day, for each hour of the day, you're gonna dock what you've been doing for those hours. Now, naturally, you're gonna be like, wow, I actually have more time than what I thought. And you're gonna want to do the things, but just hold off. And then that following Sunday, plan your week ahead and do something that you haven't done before. And that's put in personal care. So for me, that looks like getting up an hour before my kids. I know oftentimes we end up staying up late because I was finishing my master's, working full time and raising 3 girls by myself. So while running a business. So I know what it's like not to feel like you have the time, but we always have the time. You look at successful people and you say, dang, how are they so successful? How did they get there? We all share the same space. We all share the same amount of time. It's what you do in that time that matters. And one thing successful people do very well is they value their time and they make time for themselves so that they can pour into other people more, whether that's your place of business, whether that's your children, or whether that's, communicating and networking with other people to grow your success.
That's so true.
So good. What you think?
Really similar. There was a time earlier this year, ever since since high school, college, getting into my career, where I ended up sick early this year, super sick, unexplainable, weird symptoms I had never had. And at that time I was in a relationship, not really feeling convicted about it, working full-time, a full-time job, and just through some crazy, huge campaigns, which I'm so thankful for.
Right.
But at the end, I just had a shake.
Yeah.
I could not sleep, all of that stuff. And so similar, actually my parents suggested exactly what you just suggested, to take a time budget. What are you doing from the time you wake up to the time that you go to sleep? And so that helped a lot, helped me find you know what, I'm doing all this work, but it's not it's like the 20/80. It's all this work, but it's not contributing to me or to my goals. And so that's when I had to move my life around a little bit. And now I'm kind of, again, learning what I want out of life and where I want to be in the future. And then also now I have my top 3 most important things to me.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, which is my spiritual life.
Yep.
So I want to feed in, connect to God
Yeah.
daily.
Right.
Physical. I want to make sure that I get some type of movement or exercise. And then for me, it's my nutrition. I take my vitamins now. I even told Austin, I was like, Austin, we're going to be busy today. Remind me to take my vitamins. And he told me, yeah. And so that's, I know once my physical health and spiritual mental is right, then I can go on and be the best for Kona Rise. And I can be the nicest to Austin. And so that helped a lot. Another thing that helps, because women, we have hormones. I think that's why guys are just tell us what you want. What do you want? And I'm I don't know what I want.
Please.
So this is another advice to your tribe is learn how female hormones work. And there's some books in the Flow, Beyond the Pill, that tell you this week your hormone levels are high. During this week, your left brain and your right brain are most similar. So now's a good time to make decisions. Eat these foods because you may be deficient in these certain vitamins. So as a woman, get to know your hormones. It helps a lot.
That's great.
And it'll help your boyfriend or your boo out. Because then they'll know, oh, she may be in a mood today because of this. Or she's going to be super open and she's going to want affection. So it's so helpful. Because women and men are so different.
We are.
So different.
We really are.
Because of hormones.
We
once
are.
you learn, you know.
But men are moody too, though. I mean, it's we may not be as moody, but we are moody.
Yeah, y'all have cycles.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I do.
y'all do.
Yeah, I mean, because it's for example, we've been shooting. I may not want to be all up, talking to the boo when I get done shooting. I just want to shut up, watch sports, and don't say nothing. And so I think men, we have it as well, which again, how do we have those hard conversations? How do we say, okay, how do we learn each other up front so that way we know, okay, this may not be a good time for this conversation, or for him, okay, he just got done working, he just got off this long trip, boom, 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 boom. One of the guys said, don't expect a man to get you, when you don't have a handle on yourself. He was like get a handle or at least have a better handle on yourself than what you expect from the man. And so one of the questions I put in here to ask, again, just how do you start the conversation going is there a hobby you used to have that you'd like to pick back up? If so, what's holding you back from pursuing it? Like, just ask, simple question. What are some hobbies that you actually like doing? And if you stopped it, well, why? And then you'll start understanding. It just creates an easy conversation to go in there and to just start, and it will open it up from there. I don't want the conversations to be so hard because we make them hard. I want the conversation to be easy. Not saying they're going to be easy, but I want it to be at least to where we can get in there and start having the hard conversations. In that PDF, I'm talking about how do we talk about stance on sex, the stance on your spiritual walk, because those are important questions to ask and to have. I get in there and we talk about a whole bunch of money stuff. Because ladies, y'all want to know how much do you make? Y'all want to know the credit score. Y'all want to know, are you taking me on a $50 budget like Anthony O'Neill teaches? Y'all want to know, and it's like, I was on Clubhouse one day, Raquel, and this one lady said, well, ask him what kind of car he drives. Well, if you ask me what kind of car I drive, that's already a red flag.
Right.
No.
That's not even gonna work because I had my Audi.
Right.
And I was paying $800 a month for that. And now I have a Nissan. And now I have a Nissan Rogue that I own outright.
Right.
But what my portfolio looked like when I owned an Audi, what my portfolio looks like owning a Nissan Rogue, baby.
That's why I created this PDF, this little mini ebook to where it really helped get to that answer. Like without being too intrusive, but allowing the partner, allowing him to really walk you through that whole process. And this is going to give you the answers that you want, but then also it's going to help you reveal their character, their integrity, their values, their mission, and everything that they really have. So, man, thank y'all for chilling with me today.
Yeah.
You're really good.
you.
Appreciate it.
This was good.
This was really, really, really good. And this is just a sneak peek
Costco snack.
into the singles panel. And listen, this mini ebook is 100% for free. Just text relationships to 615-930-3431. I mean, I go through the do's and the don'ts of how to have the hard conversation. I list out 20 questions, 20 scenarios of what guys were saying. Hey, this is what I really want ladies to understand. And up underneath each one of those scenarios, I give you questions on how to start the hard conversation to where both of you all can have the conversation. And here are some real red flags that you should be looking out when it comes to the brother. And so it's free. Rebecca helped me put it together. My team helped me put it together. I promise you, you'll love it. And what?
I'm so mad.
Fine.
What?
You want to hear what I was going to say?
Yes.
Okay. I think that's going to be a dope game for couples.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's going to be an amazing game. I don't know if you thought about that, but that would be an amazing
Make it
game.
a date night.
Yeah, heck yeah.
It's a date night conversation.
That's awesome.
I just know, I remember me, man. Like, how do I have this conversation? Or ladies would straight up offend me by some of their questions. And I'm like, yo, you could have asked me that a little bit differently. Because men are prideful. One. Two, don't push us into the corner. Feel like we are still the man, and make us feel like you really want to learn us because you want us to work.
Yeah.
Don't make me feel like you're asking me this question because they say he's in or he's out. Like, it should be, how do we progress? And these questions make it easier to progress. So it's a great date night. And, live accordingly to your spiritual walk. I don't want you making any babies from this PDF, because his responses may turn you on. You may be like, ooh. Live that Christian walk. Walk that Christian walk. Don't be like Austin and, you know what I'm saying? Austin's like, I got two of them. I'm
Just testing the waters. That was 18-year-old me. I've grown a lot.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't grown that much. He's only 21.
I've grown a lot. Don't let Anthony fool you. I've grown a lot.
Hey, listen. His
Y'all
DMs
getting them DMs, girl. Y'all getting them DMs.
I mean, you know, my tribe is a whole lot older than him. You know what I'm saying? He can be having some 30-year-olds in his DM. Like,
That's
yo,
fine.
I'm a grown. See, look at
She
him.
can cook.
He's like, I'm a grown man. You know what I'm saying? I'm young. I got that energy. Anyways, it's your boy, Anthony O'Neal. Thank you all so much for rocking with us today. Hey, check out all their information below. Join them. Learn from them. Get Bougie's book. It will bless you tremendously. Her book costs some money. My book doesn't because it's free for you. So go ahead and click the link in the show description or text the word 615-930-3431. But get both. Drop $20 so you can learn how to be bougie, beautiful, and have that bank. And then also make sure to get this guide to having the hard conversations while dating the right way. It's your boy. We'll see you next week. Peace out.